Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and make progress in your life. This is episode 531 of the Daily 180, and today we're going to be continuing our series talking about being bad in order to be good. When I've talked to people about this, a few people have looked at me and said, Todd, if there's anybody that knows about being bad, it's you. I'm not sure they always meant that as a compliment. But I recognize that what they're talking about is that in a lot of situations, I have been willing to take risks. I have been willing to put myself out there. That boldness that we talked about is the first step about being bad. They recognize that that's something that I have learned to develop over time. But along with that, if we really want to make progress, we have to recognize that boldness is the first step, but it's not the only step. And in fact, boldness without steps 2 and 3, as we're going to talk about them, is really just a recipe for disaster, and in many cases a recipe for a more permanent kind of failure, rather than the kind of failure that leads to progress. So what are steps 2 and 3? Well, today we're talking about step 2, and step 2 is to be accepting. We're bold at the outset, but we're accepting after we make our efforts. And what accepting means is that we're willing to accept the feedback and the correction that comes. I remember when I was starting to play the piano. I was very, very young. And you know what? As I played on the keys and I did different kinds of things, and I talked about this in my article on Medium about being bad. I played on the keys and I was willing to just make noise. And I looked for things that made sense, but I was just playing. I was just pounding on the keys and trying to, my teacher said, make them loud, make them fast, make them slow, all these kinds of things. And then after I'd had some boldness in me, she started saying, okay, now let's try to do them in a different way. Let's try and refine them. Let's try and put them together in chords. Let's try to put these particular chords together. Oh, we missed that one. Let's try that again. And that was something that I heard a lot for. In fact, I continue to hear it. Oh, we missed that one. Let's try that again. In fact, just the other day, I was working on a class. I was teaching a class, and the instructor came to me, the person that's the dean for the program came to me and said, Todd, it seems like we missed what we were looking for on this one. I said, I did the best I could. I'm sorry. Tell me how to do it better. And he said, well, this is kind of what we're thinking about. And I said, got it. I'll see what I can do to make that work a little bit differently. Accepting the feedback, accepting the correction, accepting all of those things is the second step in being bad. If we're not willing to accept it, then the reality is we're never going to get past bad and get to good. So chew on that a little bit. We'll talk about the next step tomorrow. But in the meantime, make sure that you share this as widely and far as you can. Hit the button to subscribe, hit the bell to be reminded when we're releasing these live. And let's see if we can get more people to understand how important it is to go out there and be bad. In the meantime, this has been the Daily 180. My name is Todd Wente. Go forth and conquer. We'll see you next time.